The North Fork facing the fierce force of Hurricane Helene. And for the first time since that unforgettable flooding, we're getting a look at the high-speed headway. It goes into getting Asheville's water system fixed.
When you look at a region like Asheville in the mountains, the terrain is different. I think that most of us don't expect to see biblical-like floods hit the infrastructure the way we've seen it.
The EPA's administrator joining Governor Cooper along with other state and local officials Thursday for a tour of the North Fork Reservoir. But despite the devastation, a hopeful milestone after Helene. City water officials confirming the 36-inch bypass line now fixed, connecting the North Fork to the rest of Asheville's water system. Well, this is the dam that's connected to Burnett Reservoir. Right now, it's doing its job. You can see a flow of water, some of the debris still left behind 2 weeks later after Helene hit. And you can see all those logs that are still there. Then I want to swing you over to this side. This is Burnett Reservoir, this huge body of water here. This is what supplies 80% of Asheville with its water. Helene also stirred up sediment, so that sediment can either settle on its own or, to speed things up, treat it.
What we're going to do with the treatment is make those particles stick together and sink to the bottom, which leaves clearer water.
But David Melton, Asheville's Water Resources Director, says that's no easy task. Are you guys looking at past examples? Has this been done in North Carolina's history, in other states, on maybe even the Southeast?
It's definitely been done in other states. It's got precedence, so it's tried and tested, so we feel very confident.
Having the EPA on site helps, but Melton says the cooling weather doesn't.
The temperature of the water is changing, which slows that process greatly.
Well, I also want to give you an idea of the progress that's been made so far. When you look at Burnett here, you can see a little bit below the surface, maybe a couple feet below the water surface. A couple weeks ago, this looked like chocolate milk. Before the storm hit, though, according to these water management officials, you could see up to 10 feet below the surface. You could even see fish swimming below the surface. But even with this progress, still no word on when it'll be done. Once that's done, do we have a bit of a better idea, kind of what we're looking at in terms of time from then, even from that point?
We know we're going to have leaks. I mean, it's obvious when you see the devastation. So we've got to clean up each step and make sure that step is whole before we can move to the next step. So it'll be very methodical, very intentional, the way we step through it, but it's going to take time.
In Buncombe County, Mark Liverman, News 13.